Next comes the EC2 instances. EC2 instance is nothing but Elastic Cloud Computing. So this is the dashboard for EC2. So normally AWS has servers in different regions. So you can select the region which is nearest to your location and where you wanted to host your website. So you can have your website or web application hosted in more than one region. So you can have it hosted in Ohio and also in Mumbai. So since Mumbai is my nearest location, I'll select the server present in Mumbai. So here you'll find all the snapshots or load balancers and dedicated hosts, elastic IPs and the instances running under this particular location. So if at all you wanted to create a new instance, go to an instance tab and then click on launch instance. Here you have multiple options. So if at all you go through the options, like you'll have Amazon Linux 2 AMI or Amazon Linux AMI or Red Hat, Ubuntu, Microsoft, Windows Server, and many more. So depending on your requirement, you can select the 64-bit or the normal one or the regular one. So this is AWS Market. So if at all you wanted any application like WordPress or Python applications or blockchain applications, you can host it from here. And this is community AMS. So you can have a set of applications here, like you can select it from the 32-bit or 64-bit depending on your requirement on your project and the OS also, like CentOS, Debian, or Amazon Linux, Windows, Ubuntu, whichever is preferred. And you also have a free tier option on which selected you will be shown only the OS which is provided for on free tier basis. So I'll just go with Ubuntu. And this is your server specifications, or you can say it as architectural specifications. So how many CPUs you wanted, like virtual processors you wanted, and what's the memory you wanted, and the storage, everything. So in the free tier, you will be given with one virtual CPU and 1 GB of RAM. So if at all you wanted, you can again increase it. Like you have multiple combinations. Like you can go with two virtual processors and 8 GB RAM or 16 GB RAM with four virtual processors. So it depends. So each thing has a particular pricing. So for this example, I'll go with a free tier. So you have here two options. One is you can directly launch it, or you can have other configuration details also. So since I wanted other configurations, I will go through it. But yeah, here you will have multiple options, so you can go with any of this. So initially, if at all you're going with a normal simple application, you have no need to change all these things. Everything is fine. So you can go with the default one. So you can even create an IAMA role. So if you wanted, you can create a new role that it can be assigned to this particular instance. So that particular role will be assigned to all the users who can use this uh, instance or access this instance. So initially, if you create it, and then next is the storage base. Initially, by default, they give you 8 GB, and you can extend it till 30 GB. That is an SSD space. This the space is used for installing the OS and other related stuffs, other related softwares. So if you want more space, you can add it. Again, it will get charged. Next is tags. If at all you are having handling more than one instances, you can create your own tag. Like say this. Again, you can have it. My first instance. Next, security groups. Security groups is nothing but the inbound and outbound roles for your instance. So this SSH shows that you can connect to your instance through SSH. And if at all you wanted to activate the HTTP and the HTTPS traffics, you can do it from here. So HTTP and under source it will be from anywhere, so that you can access your instance from anywhere in the world. And again, the same thing happens for HTTPS. If at all your instance or your application that runs this instance requires SSL certificate, then review and launch. So here you can see all the things. So here you are launching a new Ubuntu server of version 18.04 and T2 micro instance whose securities you can log in with SSH and HTTP and HTTPS access all over anywhere from the world. And the instance details is this, and the storage details are 30 GB SSD, and the tags you have added is my first instance. So these tags will be helpful for maintaining your billing according to your instance. So if at all you are having more than one client, you can have a multiple instances with each instance having a multiple tags for easier maintenance of your billing invoices. And click on launch. So once you are click on launch, you will be prompted to choose an existing pair or create a new key pair. So you need to create a new key pair. Since it is the first time, you won't be having any already available key pairs. So in this is a major file that you need to be saved with you whenever you wanted to access instance using SSH. And the major thing is if you lose this key, you can't be able to log into your instances, and AWS doesn't provide an option to re-download the keys. So it's better to save it in your local drive or anywhere, wherever it is possible. So it will be give you will be able to download a PEM file. Okay, so a PEM file will be downloaded to your local, then launch instance, then view instance. So your availability zone is AP South 1B. That is, you have created your server in Mumbai region, under Mumbai region. So here you will be having some regular stuff like IPv4 or IPv6 that is provided by all servers. Like not only in AWS, you will be having it for other hosting services also. So initially, since it doesn't have anything, so if you try to load it, you will find nothing. You will be you see no welcome page or anything since it's a normal server. Yes, so you need to wait till the status check is good, and if you want to test it in between, you can try it in your new tab. Yes. Since it doesn't have anything, so you won't be able to see any page or anything. So in this, you can create multiple instances, but in free tier, you will have only option for one instance to create one instance at a time. So if you create more than one instance, then you will be charged according to the usage. That is per on the monthly basis. And you have different options. If you at all you find it here, you will see different options here like load balancers or auto scaling, network and security groups, elastic block storage and images, instances, spot requests, and all those things. So these will be covered in the future classes or the future videos. So once the status check is good, then we can start installing our application or softwares depending on the requirements. Like if at all we are running a WordPress application in the server, then we will be installing LAMP or XAMPP. and PHP, MySQL, and all this stuff. If at all you are installing any Java application, running any Java web app, then we will be installing Java and it's required dependencies. And similarly, if you are going with the Python, you will be installing a Python application and other framework stuff. So if at all you see here, now we have got the status check as 2 of 2. So initially, we have some limited options we can do it here. So if at all you see in the instance state, you have start, stop, reboot, and terminate. So you can start your instance whenever it's needed, and you can stop it whenever you're not working or you don't want that application to be running or that any such kind of things. And you can also reboot your server if at all you have updated any software or updated any of your code. And you can even also terminate it. And the one major thing is if at all you terminate any instance, you can get retrieve back the instances or any data which is in that instance. Because once it is terminated, it's permanently deleted. And next is the instance settings. So you can add or edit tags, or you can scale groups, or you can even create a new role or change role, and you can have other options like you can do it in the terminal and all those things. And next is the image. So this is nothing but a create image. So you can create and duplicate image of your current instance, which will be helpful for your future if at all you wanted to upgrade your instance or you wanted to create a new instance and terminate this. Instead of having this application, you can directly create an instance from that image that we have currently duplicated from the current instance. Next comes the networking options. So you can change the security groups and you can attach network interferences and manage IP addresses. And you can even also give your private IP address, again, which is chargeable. And you can also have a monitoring for your instance. So if at all you click on enable detailed monitoring, so it will be watched now. So if at all it leads anything, you can have a keep an eye. Yes, if at all you go on monitoring. So here you will see how much your has been written, how much your application is using the CPU, and how much data it is using, and all those things. This is the status check. You can even set an alarm if it fails. And this is your overall description, like instance state it is running currently, and if at all you stop it, you will again get the same indication like your instance has been stopped and all those stuff. Now you can reload it whenever you wanted it, so nothing will affect the instance. You can even give the name to your instance. Again, you can go to image state and then you can again start. So whenever you stop and start, your public IP changes. Since it's not a static IP, so it changes on every reboot or every refresh. Yeah, if at all you see here in the IPv4 public IP, it's 13.232.5.1.124. But previously it was 15.206.195.93. So these changes on every refresh. So if you want it to be stable, we can avoid rebooting it in many times. So what does a load balancer does is it handles the traffic coming to your website or to your application, and it makes everyone so that everyone can access your application easily without any hassle. So yeah, you can set your alarm status also, and everything monitoring is enabled and all those stuff. So if at all you wanted to connect to this instance, you have these three options. One is through SSH. That is, you need to go to that application, I mean, like file location where the file has been downloaded, and you can use this example like ssh-hi and your PEM file. Ubuntu is a username. So you have two options. One is you can log in using your PEM file, or you can even log in using your private key that will generate using the PEM file to this instance. Again, there is a session manager and EC2 instance connect. This EC2 instance connect sometimes doesn't work in the browser. Yeah, so same thing happens. So it doesn't work sometimes. So in the next video, I'll show you how to connect to this